For the next 30 days, I am quitting my smartphone. I am going to let the battery run out and give it to Daisy, and she is going to hide it somewhere. That means no Facebook, no Instagram, no watching YouTube, no checking emails, no playing Tetris, no checking the news, no checking people's reactions to TV shows and movies, no apps at all, just me and the real world. Obviously, our smartphones are amazing tools. We use them constantly, but we all know how addicting they can be, and we kind of use them as a crutch for whenever we get bored, when we don't feel like talking to anyone, when we want to wind down, when we want to wake up. Our smartphones have completely changed our lives by providing a bunch of helpful things. But at what cost? What are the things they are taking away from us? That's what I'm interested in discovering over this next 30 days. I've actually been interested in doing this for a long time. I remember hearing an interview with film director Christopher Nolan and how he doesn't have a smartphone and he just has a simple dumb phone. What he and what others have said has triggered something inside me that makes me want to find out what that's like again. It's just always sounded kind of peaceful. How will going without it impact my life? What can I accomplish? Now, my two main concerns are, number one, just how inconvenient is this going to make my life? So I am curious to see at the end of this if it's just going to be like such a relief to be able to have those tools back. And then number two, I realized yesterday I was getting prepared for this and everyone around me at that time was on their phone. And I was just like, I'm gonna have to come up with ways to like entertain myself, because that's a big part of it. What am I gonna do in hopefully way more spare time? How am I gonna fill that time? Now, this challenge is not zero communication or anything like that. Daisy did convince me to go ahead and get a dumb phone for essential communication and emergencies. For example, in a couple of weeks, we have an upcoming trip to Utah, and it would be really nice if we get separated, like in the airport or whatever, to be able to communicate and find out where the other one is. So I will be using a very basic flip phone for emergencies, for essential communication. Check out this awesome little flip phone. It's a track phone, just a blast from the past. It has a camera feature. Do you guys remember like taking photos with this crappy camera and then like sending it to your friends and stuff? It's just, it's just crazy. But I love it. It's so simple. That's something I'm already appreciating about it, is just how simple it is. You call, you text, you can change your ringtone. This is basically about it. There's something kind of fun and nostalgic just seeing like even the menu, just seeing like how few options you have, which is kind of refreshing, kind of fun. Right now I'm digging it. We'll see how I feel at the end of 30 days. Just a good old-fashioned flip phone with a 2-megapixel camera. Now, am I gonna be offline completely? No, this is not a no screens or no internet challenge. The point of this is to not have a personal computer with me all the time, 24/7, no matter where I go, always in my pocket. That's what I'm gonna be going without. I'm still gonna be using my laptop for work, for posting to YouTube, etc., but only during work hours, and I'm not gonna be checking on things constantly on there. That would kind of defeat the spirit of this challenge. Honestly, I do feel excited, but also nervous. I use and rely on my smartphone a lot for so many things, and to all of a sudden go without it for 30 days. I don't know, I kind of feel like I'm going into new territory, or at least territory that I haven't been in since pre-2013, back when all our lives were kind of like this. All right guys, the challenge starts now. Today is July 24th. I will be doing this until August 24th, which is actually the day that we come back from our trip to Utah. So basically when we get back home from that, I'll finally be able to use my smartphone again. But it starts now. I'm gonna go grab my phone and give it to my wife, Daisy. It has been 24 hours since I locked away my phone, and how do I feel? I'm not gonna do like a play-by-play every single day. Probably at the end of the week, I'll record some thoughts, but even after 24 hours, I've been feeling pretty much some major FOMO, fear of missing out. Like, I saw Daisy chatting with like family groups, and she showed me some pictures, and it was just like, I kind of want to like interact and everything. And I'm hoping that will feel better in time, that I'll have some things to keep me busy and just kind of like let go with that, and just know that it's going to be there when this challenge is over. There's also been some times where I have reached in my pocket to grab it, and just out of like habit, and nothing was there. I didn't even have my dumb phone. I'm amazed at how long the battery lasts on my dumb phone, because I'm hardly using it at all. Like, I used it today so far just to send like a couple messages to Daisy, but it's It's the kind of like texting system where you have to tap the button like 3 times to get to the letter I and tap it a couple more for another word, and so it just takes forever. So I told Daisy, like, my texts to you are gonna get way shorter. The battery only went down like 15%. So I'm gonna see how long it takes for the dumb phone battery to be depleted. Oh, another thing was last night, it was about 11 o'clock, and I jumped into bed and I was just like, okay, guess I'm gonna go to bed now. Like, I haven't done that in such a long time where I have not done at least something on my phone, set the alarm, looked at YouTube stuff, or got on Instagram for a minute or something, you know, like I'm always just used to doing that at the end of the day. So it was really quite a shock to just be like, okay, well, I'm gonna shower and go to bed. And so I did use that time for a minute to kind of like start planning what I would like to do when I, you know, feel like I want to wind down and do something, but not necessarily get on electronic devices. So I really want to go to the library and get some books. I want to get like a good bedside book that I can just have during those times when I want to wind down, but I'm not quite ready for bed. But yeah, I'm trying to think of other things to do, other hobbies to start that I could kind of get into to help me have something to put my brain towards during those times. So guys, it's only day 2 and I'm starting to get a little bit bored. Just like throughout the day, just like not having, like, today's the first weekend day and Dathan's like asleep and we didn't have a lot going on. So I was just like, I really need something to do. And so I pulled out my notebook and I started writing down the things I'm grateful for, as well as things I'm manifesting. But right now I'm in the mood to get a book from the library. So I'm here at the library and my goal is to find one self-help book because I love those. I always learn so much from them. But then I also just want like a fun, can't put it down book that's fictional, just like a really fun story that, like, at the end of the day when I don't feel like using my brain and kind of that time of day where I would normally just like pull out my phone and start browsing social media or whatever, I want to be able to have a good book like on the side of the bed for that. So yeah, 2 books. I just called my sister and her husband for book recommendations and they gave me some. So I'm going to go see what the library has, and then I will let you guys know what books I decided to grab. Well, they did not have the books that my family recommended, which is okay because I requested that they be sent to that library, which is pretty cool. But I did find a couple other ones that interested me. One of them is called The Power of Starting Something Stupid. This one's kind of just like motivation, I guess. But for my fun book to read when I just want to have a fun story, I got Origin by Dan Brown. I've read every single Dan Brown there is about Robert Langdon except for this one. I don't know, for some reason this one fell below my radar and I have not read it yet, so I'm pretty excited to start this. But browsing through the books in the library, again, just felt like a blast from the past. Like, I'm getting these very nostalgic vibes from just letting go of my phone that I wasn't expecting to have. There's, you know, my dumb little flip phone that's just kind of fun because of how simple it is. And then browsing through books, you know, there was no one in, I didn't see anyone else in there on a Saturday browsing for books. There was multiple people working on their computers, things like that, but no one was browsing for books, and that's fine, I get it, but it just, there's something kind of nostalgic about browsing through the books for me, opening the cover and seeing what it's about and looking at the titles. And yeah, I don't know, I really enjoyed it, and I hope that this kind of sparks me reading again. There was a year in school where I read, I think it was 20 or 30, probably about 20 books in one year, and a lot of those books I still have vivid memories of reading and their stories and what I learned from them. So I'm hoping this kind of reignites that and gets me back into it. Guys, I'm gonna be honest, I completely failed this challenge. It was about a week and a half after I started this challenge. Not only were we about to go leave on a family trip to Utah to visit my family, but I got really sick for like 4 or 5 days where most of the time I was just laying on the couch and had like a really bad sore throat, and I was going to and from doctor's appointments, picking up medications and all that fun stuff. And it just became so difficult to try to communicate with Daisy and with other people on the dumb phone that I eventually I brought it to Utah, but I just had no desire in Utah to start texting with something that was just so slow. It was enough to make me quit and fail this challenge. So I just want to be completely honest with you guys and transparent that this was a challenge that I thought was going to be way easier, but it turned out to be incredibly hard for me in what happened during those 30 days. So I feel like I still learned a lot just during the week and a half that I did do it. For one, we totally went and checked out this Frida Kahlo festival. I don't think we would have found if I wasn't going to the library so often. I was able to see some of the community activities that were happening, and that led us to go to this Frida Kahlo festival. It also just kind of allowed us to get outside and connect with our community a little bit and learn about somebody and see all the artists' work and see dancing. But yeah, I think the main thing for me was when I get bored, I don't need to pull it out. I can totally grab my book. I've started like 2 or 3 books and I'm still currently on them. As soon as we got back home from Utah, I rechecked them out from the library. Something else that I really appreciated kind of learning about myself was to just keep my head up more. And you know, life is happening all around me always. When you're in line somewhere, like maybe at the grocery store or whatever, you're missing the present by having your head down and staring at your screen. And just having your head up more and engaging with what's going on all around you was just big for me, and it kind of hit me in an unexpected way, I guess. I also noticed that a lot of times when Dalen is just playing around the house or maybe at the park, I just kind of think, oh, he's occupying himself, so I'm just gonna pull out my phone and entertain myself. Not having that as an option really made me realize, well, wait a second, why, even if he's playing by himself, like why can't I play with him too? Like why can't we bond a little bit and make some memories here at the park, or I don't know, just like get him to laugh in the house. And sometimes when my phone is just my first option, I think a lot of those moments get missed. So like I totally think that we all need breaks from, you know, having to watch little kids. Like it's a thing, like you need breaks. More often I want to do better with just playing with him anyway and being there for him, and he's not going to be a little kid forever, and he's not gonna want to play with me forever. Like, you know, right now he's at a really fun age where he's just so explorative and wants to try every little thing, and I don't want to miss out on that. So will I attempt this challenge again in the future? I think so. I think I think with like a very calm 30 days, I think I can do this. I think it'd be fun to try again, but I'm gonna try to have it be when things aren't so crazy here. Even just with the week and a half, I feel like it definitely helped my mindset with those things I just talked about. It's always a struggle having a computer, an entertainment device, you know, all the above in our pockets all the time with us. For me personally, if I can just try to limit that and to be conscious about it a little bit more throughout the day and just have this reminder, because sometimes that's all we need is a little reminder. I hope that's not too disappointing of a video, but like I said, I wanted to keep it real and let you guys know when I fail at a challenge and the reasons behind that and everything. So, but guys, thank you for tuning in to this realistic journey that I took.